Picture this. It's a Sunday afternoon, you're 47, and someone asks when you plan to retire. You say 65, like most people do. Here's the thing almost nobody realises. The average Australian actually stops working before that, and they walk away right as a comfortable retirement quietly got more expensive. Let me show you what that gap costs you. So here's where you stand. If you're over 45, you probably intend to retire around 65.6. That's the national average according to the ABS 2024-25 release. But the average age people actually stop is 63.8. Today, I'll walk you through 3 moves. Check your super and pension position, compare your funds fees and returns, and work out the income you'll genuinely need. Stick with me. The number that reframes all of this is coming up next. Here's the number to remember, 65.6. The average age Australians over 45 say they intend to retire, straight from the ABS. But here's the part most people miss. The average age people actually retire is just 63.8. That means you could lose almost 2 years of saving you were quietly counting on, right when you need it most. 3 moves, and that's the whole plan. You'll check your super and pension position, compare your funds fees and returns, then estimate your real retirement income. Each one takes under 20 minutes, and every tool is free. You don't need an advisor or a spreadsheet to do them. The first quiet cost is stopping work before your super and savings are actually ready. And if you've never mapped this out, that's not a failure. Most people are never shown how. The ABS reports the average retirement age was 63.8 in 2024-25 against an intended 65.6. And when you stop early, you lean harder on the age pension and stretch your savings across more years. That 1.8-year gap matters far more than it sounds. To hit ASFA's comfortable standard, you're now looking at roughly $630,000 in super as a single homeowner, or $730,000 as a couple, up from $595,000 and $690,000 not long ago. But I want to be upfront with you here. Those targets assume you own your home outright. If you're still paying a mortgage or renting into retirement, your real number is meaningfully higher, and that's exactly the kind of thing this next step helps you catch. The second layer is living cost pressure inside retirement. It makes every year out of work more expensive. ASFA's latest standard puts a comfortable retirement at $54,840 a year if you're single, or $77,375 for a couple who own their home. A modest lifestyle is $35,504 single and $58,000 for a couple. The point is simple. The bar you're aiming at just moved up. So if you're aiming for comfortable rather than modest, you're funding about $19,936 more a year as a single, or roughly $25,561 more as a couple. And here's where it gets genuinely important. The ABS says reliance on super as your main retirement income rose from 20% in 2014-15 to 28% in 2024-25. A shorter working life leaves more of your spending exposed to markets and how long you live. Now, here's the belief that trips most people up. Here's the assumption that stops people acting. If I retire a bit early, the age pension will cover it. I understand why you'd think that. It feels like a safety net, but the ABS shows retirees increasingly rely on their own super, with the share using it as their main income rising from 20% to 28% over a decade. The pension helps, but on its own, it won't get you to comfortable. Let me put the two costs side by side so you can see the squeeze clearly. On one side, roughly 1.8 years of saving lost to an early exit. On the other, a comfortable couple's retirement now costing $77,370 a year. Fewer years to build your balance, a bigger annual builder fund. That's the pressure hitting early retirees. And here's where it gets real, because I want to show you how this plays out for someone just like you. Meet Mick. He's 61, a tradie supervisor in Brisbane on $98,000 a year, with $520,000 in his industry super fund. He owns his home and he'd planned to retire at 67, 6 years away. Honestly, he felt like he was on track, and that's exactly why his story matters. Here's what Mick found when he actually looked. Mick's first discovery was the benchmark itself. ASFA's comfortable target is now $730,000 for a couple and $630,000 for a single homeowner. Against that, his $520,000 looked materially short. And remember, that's the bar for comfortable, not luxury. If you've never held your own balance up against that number, this is the moment to do it. His second discovery hit harder. The ABS says people who retired in 2024 to 25 did so at 63.8 on average, even though most intend to keep going until 65.6. That means a lot of Australians, maybe you, quit earlier than planned and quietly lose about 1.8 years of saving. Life gets in the way. Health, redundancy, caring for family. It's rarely a choice. His third discovery was the one that stung. A comfortable retirement runs 77 hours, 375 hours a year for a couple, and 54 saldo 40 for a single homeowner. So a plan built around "I'll just live cheaply" can be off by roughly $25,561 a year for a couple, or $19,336 for a single. That's when it clicked for Mick. Living cheap was never a plan. It was a guess. Here's Mick's combined cost plainly against the $730,000 couple target. His $520,000 leaves a $210,000 gap, and losing 1.8 years of saving makes that harder to close. Now, if your situation is stronger, say you're closer to the target with more years to run, your gap is smaller and very fixable. If you're where Mick is, it's real but not hopeless. Either way, the point is the same. Retiring early costs more than lost wages. It's a bigger shortfall against the standard. So could this be you? 3 quick signs. You've never checked your balance against the ASFA target. You don't actually know whether you're tracking to comfortable or only to modest. And you haven't planned for the chance you stop work before your target age. If any of those landed, and for most people at least one does, the next 3 moves are built exactly for you. Right, let's actually do this together. 3 moves, starting now. You'll check your position, compare your fund, then estimate the income you'll genuinely need. None of this costs a cent, and you can do all 3 today. Move 1, check your super and pension position. Log into MyGov and open ATO online services, then pull up your super accounts, your contribution history, and your age pension eligibility queues. The whole point is to see your real number sitting next to the ASFA benchmark for your household, not the number you've been assuming in your head. Here's how, step by step. Log into MyGov, open ATO online services, find your super accounts and contribution history, then compare your balance to the ASFA target for your household. What good looks like? Your projected balance is tracking toward at least the comfortable target for your situation. If it's not, don't panic. That's what the next 2 moves are for. Move 2. Compare your fund. Open the Your Super comparison tool inside ATO online. Enter your fund's details and check its net returns and fees against other My Super products. A high fee laggard bleeds your growth quietly for years. And this is how you catch it. Just to be clear, this is general information, not personal advice, but the tool itself is neutral and free. Step by step, open the Your Super comparison tool in ATO online, enter your current fund's details, then compare its net returns and fees against the benchmark. What good looks like? You're sitting in a low fee, competitive My Super product rather than a higher fee laggard. If you're not, switching is easier than most people expect. Move 3. Estimate your real retirement income. Open the ASFA retirement standard figures, match your household type, single or couple, homeowner or renter, and compare your expected income to the benchmark spend. This is the step that turns "I'll probably be fine" into an actual number you can plan toward. How to do it? Open the ASFR retirement budget figures, match your household type, then compare your expected income to the benchmark spend. What good looks like? Your income clears the benchmark with a margin that covers health, housing and living longer than you expect. That margin is what turns a plan from tight into genuinely comfortable. Why does this matter right now? Back in 1992, the superannuation guarantee made employer contributions compulsory. That's what funds most of your retirement today. In 2024-25, the ABS exposed the gap, an actual retirement age of 63.8 against an intended 65.6. And in the 2025-26 updates, ASFA lifted the comfortable standard to $840 for singles and $375 for couples, with targets climbing to $630,000 and $730,000. The bar keeps moving, which is why checking your position can't wait. Once you've acted, here's how to know it's stuck. You should now see your real balance sitting right next to the ASFA target for your household. Confirm your fund's net return isn't lagging your super benchmark, and if your projected income falls short, that's your cue to book in a proper plan to close the gap, well before you actually stop work. Everything I've shown you comes from the ABS Retirement Intentions Release, the ASFA Retirement Standard, and the planning analysis behind it. All the links are below, so you can check every figure yourself. I genuinely encourage you to. So, you now know something most people your age don't: the early exit gap, the new ASFA targets, and 3 free moves to see exactly where you stand. Next week, I break down precisely how much super you need by age 60, fund by fund. If this helped you swap a guess for an actual number, do the first move today. Log into MyGov and check your balance against the ASFA target. It takes about 20 minutes. And if you want to go deeper on how much you really need by 60, that's exactly what we cover next. I'm Alex. I'll see you there.